Hey there, what's going on? Chris Cervantez eHomes coming at you with the monthly market update for the city of Glendora for the month of January. What a difference a couple months makes. I took a little bit of a break here for the holiday season in December, so I hope you had a great holiday season. But the reason why I say what a difference a couple months makes, because the the research that I did, it's super exciting, specifically because I think that the market has already made some adjustments, and I think that what we're up against, or what we're going into, is going to be a fantastic market here, at least for the first part of the year. Who knows what's going to happen in our world as a whole? But I think the news and the research that I have to convey today is really, really positive if you're a buyer or seller in Glendora. So let's jump into it. I'm going to give you the meat and potatoes up front, and a conversation that I'm having with a lot of buyers these days is they want to wait. They want to wait because they think that the market's going to crumble, and they want to buy, of course, when the market is lower, the homes are cheaper than they are today. And I'm here to tell you that's already happened. The market, the pricing has already adjusted. And if you want to be informed, if you want to get ahead of the curve and get ahead of the pack, if you're a buyer, I think you need to act now. The reason being is because you've got to think to yourself, or you've got to be aware of what's happened. Interest rates peaked in November. Okay, the first week of November, interest rates hit 7%. It was like 7.1 something. You've got to think about all of those buyers and sellers that made moves leading up to that, and then all the buyers and sellers that made moves immediately after that. So there's like that period of time before and after that interest rates peaked. 7% interest rates was not good for our market. But guess what? People were still buying and selling before that, and then immediately after that, because of life events or for whatever reason, people were still making moves. However, the sellers that decided to sell during that time, they weren't selling for prices that they would have been able to get 6 months ago, 1 year ago, prior to that. So yes, interest rates caused sellers to drop the price during that time frame. So for instance, in Glendora, year over year price changes, prices are down during the same 30-day period last year. Prices are down 2.3%. Now, is it down 20% like we saw during the last Great Recession? No, that's fantastic news, because nobody wants to, have people losing all that money. So 2.3% with a median sales price now of $742,500. Homes are still expensive in Glendora. Glendora is a very desirable area to live, great schools, beautiful area, but it's still expensive. Sure, prices have already softened, and the list price to sales price ratio is something that I've been talking about in recent videos, and I think it's a fantastic metric for us to keep an eye on, because if we look at 12 months ago, over the last 1 year, the list price to sales price ratio, homes were selling on average of about 5% above the asking price. Now, if you start looking at the trend, 6 months, all of a sudden we saw it level out substantially. So I don't even know what 6 months ago from today was. What was that? Whenever that was, right? That the list price to sales price ratio flattened to 0.25%. So that means that the sellers that sold during that time frame basically got their asking price, whatever they were listed for at that time. That doesn't mean that they got it whatever they originally sold for. It's just based on whatever that list price was there, right? So they weren't selling above the asking price, and they weren't dropping it substantially below. But now, fast forward, 3 months ago, within the last 90 days, on average, homeowners in Glendora were having to drop their price from the asking price 1.52% below whatever they were listed at. So 1.5%, I mean, again, not a huge jump, and we're not talking about 20% like some media outlets want people to believe. Now, here's the thing. Here in the last 30 days, prices have, I think, already started to adjust. Already started to level out. The list price and sales price in the last 30 days is 1%. So you can see that we started off high, and then it started to come down, and then it's balancing out. And so why is that beneficial if you're a seller? You've got to list your property properly if you want to get it sold fast. If you don't want to get it sold fast, you can list it for whatever you want and adjust down. But at the end of the day, if you're a buyer waiting to buy in Glendora, I'm here to tell you, you've got to make a move now. the sellers that are listed on the market now, they want to sell, right? But that doesn't mean that you go in with a 20% below asking price offer, because it's just not realistic, and you're probably not going to get your offer accepted. Any questions about that, of course, leave a comment below. I'm happy to answer all of that. But let's hit a couple of other metrics really quick. The active inventory right now, we have 55 homes on the market. If we compare that to this time last year, that's up 2 times what we had last year. Last year we only had 18 houses on the market during this same week. So twice as many options if you're buyers, which is fantastic news. The closed here in the last 30 days, we had 22 homes close. 29 homes are in escrow in Glendora. The average days on market right now, we're at 25 days on average. This time last year, it was 21 days. Again, they're still moving about 3 weeks. And then the absorption rate, which I thought was very surprising. Absorption rate, it's a metric, it's a temperature gauge of what's happening in our market. We have 2 months of inventory in Glendora, which is great news. That means things balanced out a little bit compared to this time last year. Last year, we literally had 2 weeks of inventory. So that means that buyers have more options to consider, and more options to consider is fantastic because we just really needed things to balance out. According to Mortgage Daily News, the 30-year fixed is at 6.18. And the FHA, you're at 5 3/4. And all expectations are that that's going to continue to drop here in the coming months. So what questions do you have? Let me know. I'd be happy to answer them, or feel free to reach out to me directly. Leave a comment below. I'm curious to see what you think about what's going to happen in Glendora's market. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.